Good evening and welcome to this session of the live learning classes conducted by the Board of Studies Academics of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So we've been going through the discussions on incorporation of company and related topics, matters incidental or related thereto. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people here and so nice to have you all back today. Inshallah, we hope to complete this topic today. So we have made quite a lot of, learning in this area. In fact, I have uploaded one assignment, which I will possibly discuss today. And one more assignment also I will discuss. But the assignment I will upload along with the answers for both tomorrow or maximum by day after tomorrow, as I already told you. The incorporation PPT also will be uploaded. Okay, once the class is over, it will be uploaded. Maybe the whole thing will be uploaded on 8th. Because tomorrow I'm a little busy. Full day I'm having sessions, corporate training sessions. So tomorrow I may not be able to do it. 8th, I'll be reaching Coimbatore when I will sit in my house in Coimbatore and do this. Okay, so this is it. So please don't ask again and again when it will be done. It will be done and you will get it. Okay. In the meantime, let's begin our exciting journey into understanding the concept of incorporation. We began alteration and we stopped here. That is procedure for alteration of name clause. Okay. Capital clause. Simple. The capital clause in the memorandum is meant to disclose or meant to show the authorized capital, also known as nominal capital. So the capital clause will give information about authorized capital, also known as nominal capital. Means it will have information about equity and preference also. So basically, it will have two sentences or one sentence, that's all. The capital or authorized, the nominal capital of the company shall consist of 20 lakh shares of rupees 10 each, amounting to 2 crores. That's all. That's it. Suppose you have preference shares. The authorized capital of the company shall consist of A, 20 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, 2 crore. 1 lakh preference shares or 1 lakh compulsorily convertible preference shares or whatever it is of rupees 100 each, 1 crore, amounting to rupees 1 crore. In all cases, you will give figures and numbers. So wherever I'm using number, I will use figure, number. So both will be given. That is also in capital clause. I hope you have understood, Mr. Ishan, what is the capital clause. Now, if you want to increase the authorized capital, you have to amend the memorandum. If you want to increase the authorized capital of the company, you have to amend the memorandum by increasing. So you have to amend it, alter it. So for example, from 20 lakhs, if you want to make it 50 lakh shares, then you have to pass a special resolution for amending the memorandum. Capital clause. So if you want to amend any provision in the memorandum, you need to pass a special resolution. So whatever it can be, any change in the capital. Now, the memorandum will not contain details about paid up capital, issued capital, or subscribed capital, called up capital, paid up capital, calls in arrear, calls in advance, nothing. That will not be contained in the memorandum. That information will be given only in the balance sheet. Okay, so this is the briefly explaining capital clause. Hope you are happy. Okay, let's quickly congratulate Jasprit Kaur for getting 47 in company law, but don't worry, Jasprit, it's not a big deal, and I'm sure you'll clear with flying colors in the next session. Thanks for keeping me informed about it through the query pad. Don't worry, it will be done. You will be clearing. Don't worry. Okay. Fantastic. Coming to this procedure for alteration of name clause. Now, basically, if you want to amend the name clause, you have to amend the memorandum and the articles of association, because the name will be mentioned in both the memorandum and in the articles. The articles of association of ABC Limited, the memorandum of ABC Limited. Then name clause. The name of the company shall be ABC Limited. Now we want to change it to PQR Limited, whatever. So you have to pass a special resolution for alteration of memorandum. Then, if you want to change the name, you have to obtain the approval of central government in writing. You are changing the name. See what happens. Everybody has known this company by one name. Now that company is going to change the name. Quietly, they cannot change the name. So, you have to go to the central government and tell them we are going to change the name. Why? So, you have to give the reasoning. All that will be done in the application to be made in form number INC 24. Right? Also, if you want to change the name, you have to again apply. If you remember, name clause, if you want to have a name, first you have to reserve the name. Even for change in the name, you have to first reserve the name, then go for INC 24, pass a special resolution, apply in form number INC 24, get the approval, only then you can amend the memorandum and change it, your letterhead, etc. only after you obtain the approval. So, for change in name procedure, pass a special resolution for alteration of the name clause, then obtain the approval of the central government in writing, the application to be made in form number INC 24. Okay. Now, once the name of a company is changed, on any change in the name of a company, the registrar shall enter the new name in the register of companies in place of the old name and issue a fresh certificate of incorporation with the new name, and the change in the name shall be complete and effective only on the issue of such a certificate. So usually the approval will be there along with the fresh incorporation certificate. Now, all this is there for changing the name. But look at the right hand side, the arrow mark here, blue thingy here. What does it say? However, no such approval shall be necessary where the only change in the name of the company is the deletion therefrom or the addition thereto of the word private on account of conversion from one class to another under the same. So, you simply want to convert private to public, public to private, you simply go ahead and amend your articles, go ahead and do it. For that, you don't have to get any approval. Okay? No need for any approval for the change in the name. For change in the name because merely addition or deletion of the word private. So if you're converting from public to private, you will delete the word private. And you will add the word, if you're converting from public to private, you will add the word private. If you're converting from private to public, you will delete the word private. Whatever it is, that change does not require approval. You simply have to pass a special resolution and proceed. The change of name shall not be allowed to a company which has not filed annual returns or financial statements due for filing with the registrar, or which has failed to pay. I also highlighted this. Can you see that? Or which has failed to pay or repay mature deposits or debentures or interest thereon. Many companies, they might use this change in name to hide. They might be having one name. Now they may change the name so that the depositors and creditors may not know. But that's foolish, but still. So if you have not repaid your deposits, matured, or debentures, or interest thereon on maturity, you cannot change your name. First you correct the deficit, make good that law default, then come. So once you file the necessary document or pay or repay the matured deposits or debentures or interest, then the change of name can be allowed. Okay. This is a very important caveat and a welcome caveat, I should say. Yeah. Diya Agarwal wants to know whether there is any restrictions on the number of times an MOA can be amended. Nothing. Daily also you change. So if you want to have fun, who can prevent you? But normally we don't do it as and when. Some strategic reasons are there. For example, we might have merged with another company, change in name will happen. Or we might be carrying on certain business which is wider than what is mentioned in the name. So we might want to change it. Incorporation date will remain the same. The age of the company will be determined based on the original date of incorporation. This is only if certificate of incorporation with the new name. Okay. So if you are asking me the question whether the original certificate of incorporation should be retained, yes. Means in the permanent records of the company, there will be an original certificate of incorporation. Then, no. Yeah. I think, no, I may be subject to correction. I check up and get back to you. But as I've understood it in the past, what we used to do was, we used to surrender the old incorporation certificate and they will issue a fresh. That is how the procedure is to happen. And in that fresh incorporation certificate, the original date of incorporation will be mentioned clearly. And they'll say the name is changed with effect from this date. That's all. So that's how it is. Okay. So to my knowledge, in those days, I don't know what it is now, because today it's an electronic thing. So in those days, we used to surrender the original certificate of incorporation. There will be a certificate signed by ROC, surrender it, and they will issue a fresh certificate of incorporation. Now I don't know how it happens, but now I think it will be the same thing, except that there is no concept of surrender because it is online. There is no need for surrender. Correct. You are confused between ordinary and special resolution. You will have to wait till management administration topic then. Yesterday I taught it. Simple, madam. Simple. 5 members are attending. 5 members are attending. Ordinary resolution. How many votes needed? 3. Ordinary resolution. How many votes needed? 3. If there are 2 against, 3 for, ordinary resolution passed. The number of votes cast in favor exceeds the number of votes cast against, if any. Number of votes cast in favor, 3, exceeds. 3 is more than 2 now. The number of votes cast against, if any. Special resolution, what happens? Listen to me, Suniya ji, please. If you don't listen, you will have confusion. If you listen, you will have no confusion. Suniya ji. So, the number of votes cast in favor, write it down also. As I am telling, write it down. The number of votes cast in favor shall be, or is required to be, not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. The number of votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. Now, these votes can be cast by a member attending in person, by himself, or he may send a proxy votes for him, or the voting itself may be on postal ballot or virtual voting, electronic voting. Doesn't matter. Count the total number of votes. 1 share equal to 1 vote on a poll. 1 share equal to 1 vote on a poll. So how many ever people have voted, number of shares, you count the total number of shares for, against. Neutral could also be there. That is guys who are not voted. Guys who attend and don't vote. Neutral. Abstain. Don't count. Neutral, abstain will not be taken as negative vote. Only those votes which are cast against will be counted. Now, for a special resolution, what should I do? Suppose in the same case, 5 members are attending in person. No disputes, voting by show of hands. On show of hands, 1 member, 1 vote. No problem. Simple. Because they are not. But what happens now? Ordinary resolution, if 3 say yes, 2 no, passed. But special resolution, what happens? 2 have said no, na. Now the number of votes cast in favor should be not less than 3 times. That means 2 hai na. So 2 into 3, 6. So minimum I need 6 votes. Minimum I need 6 votes to pass a special resolution. Why? Because the number of votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against. Number of votes cast against 2. So 2 into 3, 6. So minimum I need 6. Whereas I'm having only 3. So special resolution not passed. Got it? This is the best explanation I can give, Jaspreet ji, for your doubt. Beyond this, if you want, wait for management and administration. Let us see you have better explanation. In case from my about 5 minutes of explanation you have understood, kindly confirm that you have understood what it is now. Okay. So it's a very simple concept. There's nothing to. Problem is either you are not taught correctly in your college or in your some other thing, or that's all. Otherwise, it's a very simple concept. There's nothing great. There are only. So what is your question, Ritik? Instead of saying there are only 5 members, say what is your. There are only 5 members. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there are only 5 members. Correct. What to do? What to do? That resolution cannot be passed. That is why they have fixed a special resolution. That is, majority cannot push anything on to the minority. If the certain matters require special resolution, nothing can be done. The minority does not agree. You convince the minority, make them vote in favor. Obviously, they are against it for some reason. Talk to them, convince them. So, by saying there are only 5 members, what do you want me to do? It cannot be done. That's all. That matter cannot be done because special resolution cannot be passed. Convince them. If they are not convinced, what to do? See, that is a reality. If you don't like it, what can I do, Mr. Ritik Prajapati? You got the point? There are only 5 members, so what to do? Nothing can be done. That is why they have prescribed certain matters to be special. For example, change in the name. Any amendment to memorandum, special resolution. Majority cannot simply bulldoze. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Spirit. But the beauty is, with all this discussion, believe me, when in reality, nobody votes. Those vote in favor only, they will vote. All votes will be in favor only. I have rarely seen against votes. Okay. If so, they may be very small. Very few minority will be there. But this will be much more than 3 times. Special resolution will be passed. Okay. So this is my best explanation for special and ordinary. Believe me, I am wasting your time and my time because this topic would be covered in management administration. This topic, this concept will be covered again in management and administration. But why I am taking this effort to teach it now? Because this word, special resolution, ordinary resolution, I will be using again and again. And I hate to teach something without explaining what it is. That is why I have taught you. If article of resolution says that there should be 90 favor, why should it say? How can it say? The word special resolution has been defined in the Act. I think you are not understanding the subject at all, Keshav. Simply don't ask question for question's sake. The word special resolution and ordinary resolution are defined in the Act. They do not talk about 90%. If you want to make it 90%, go for entrenchment. That too you cannot do for all. Only a few amendment to the article only can be entrenched. Right? So, I have just please, why are you apologizing? No problem. But and Keshav ji, please understand the subject with clarity. The word special resolution is defined. Your article or whatever you call article of resolution and all cannot do that. You cannot redefine it. You cannot say 90%. You cannot say. Okay, you cannot do that. If where the Act says special resolution, it means this. Okay. So understand the definition first before questioning it. Yeah. See, already Navanithan is getting angry. We understood the basics on special resolution. Please move on with the topic like that. I understand you, sir. But at the same time, what to do? Bear with us, sir. Okay. Rectification of name. Friends, this is alteration of name. Voluntary. Company wants to change the name. Company wants to change the name. Right? Whereas here, rectification. That is, company is incorporated with a name that is wrong or that is not suitable. Then what happens? That is section 16. Whereas here, this is straight. Company has a need. It wants to change the name voluntarily for its own purpose. Then you follow this procedure. Whereas the company has been incorporated with a name. How? If through inadvertence or otherwise, a company on its first registration or on its registration by a new name is registered by a name. So how it got at the time of original registration, or when it changed its name sometime in the middle, At some point, this company was registered by a name which, in the opinion of the central government, is identical with or too nearly resembles to the name by which a company in existence had been previously registered. So, how did it happen, sir? You can ask. How the registrar was allowed it to happen, sir? Inadvertence or otherwise. Inadvertence means genuine mistake. Inadvertence or negligence. Genuinely. I missed it first. Sorry. Okay. So the ROC missed it. He did his comparison. He found, okay, it's not too nearly. According to him, it was not whatever. And he said, go ahead. This fellow, okay, got incorporated. But later on, it looks that it is identical with or too nearly resembles the name by which, see, the correct English is identical with or too nearly resembles the name. But your act contains the word too there. I don't know why. It's not I'm sorry. My misfortune is that I have learned the English language correctly. And I am unable to speak ungrammatical English. So I'm unable to even when I'm reading this, I'm unable to read the two. Because sentence reads correctly, in the opinion of the central government, is identical with or too nearly resembles the name by which, that is what, resembles to the name by which a company in existence. Okay, I am not questioning the, I'm giving it to you. So the act contains the word to, but proper English, grammatically the word to should not be there. That's why I hate this new law. So ungrammatical. Okay, the people who drafted it possibly had no respect for the English language. Anyway, so having said that, the ROC, by some mistake, inadvertence means mistake. See, the error is human. Yeah, you are all God. I am ordinary man. I will make mistakes. I know that I will make mistakes. I am not God. I am not perfect. So, some mistake or otherwise, the company has been registered by a name which, in the opinion of the central government, in this case, the central government is the regional director. The central government, you can see that in the bottom of the slide, I have clearly given here. The word central government will have different meanings in different contexts. See, central government is one term, but it represents so many, right from the minister sitting on top, then the secretary, who is an IAS officer or a civil servant. Thereafter, everybody will be civil servants appointed by the President of India. They only sign documents. Please note it. The minister only signs the file. The minister only signs the file. Once the file is approved, the GO or the government order or the correspondence is signed by the secretaries. Secretary, under secretary, assistant secretary, deputy secretary, secretary, all sorts of fellows are there. All of them together become central government. Once they get into the front-end operations like ROC and all, they are called registrar of companies. But he will actually be a deputy secretary or additional secretary rank. That his rank will be different. But here, when he's sitting here, he will be called income tax officer or assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner or chief commissioner, principal chief commissioner, whatever. But he will also have another rank secretary, and starting from assistant secretary right up to secretary, he will go. Okay. So the point is, they are called central government. So whenever the word central government is asked, that law will also tell you which authority is the central government here. So in this case, very clearly they have told the word central government here is regional director. So in the opinion of central government, the name is identical with or too nearly resembles the name by which a company in existence had been previously registered, whether under this act or any previous company law. So there is usually the central government will be not on its own, it won't do this. That other company will wake up suddenly and come and give a complaint. Based on that, the central government will study and then say, yes, you are correct, that fellow is that. Then they will send a show cause notice. Okay, we find that why are you? They'll give an opportunity, we'll see that, to change the name. Okay, so in the or another method, in the opinion of central government, is identical with or too nearly resembles an existing trademark. An existing trademark. So there is a trademark. Trademark is like a logo, the way you write your name. Okay? The trademark. There are a lot of trademarks. I don't, just like that, on a daily basis, you are seeing so many trademarks. I don't have to tell you what the trademark is. So that's a unique mark. It is an intellectual property. It belongs to the owner who has used it as against the whole world. It is a trademark. For example, I'm giving simple, well-known examples. Yeah, Sony. It's a trademark. SONY, Sony is a well-known trademark belonging to the Sony Corporation, Japan, like that. Yeah, these are all, I'm giving some examples, jar examples. Okay. So, but when will you get protection? Your trademark should be registered with the registrar of marks. In India, we have somebody called registrar of, like Apple, whatever, there are 100. But simply, if you have a logo, you cannot say that is a trademark. That trademark should be registered, or at least an application for registration should be pending. See, normally when an application for registration is pending with the registrar of marks, you will be allowed to put TM. You might see some of the logos in the corner, they will put TM. That means the application is pending. If the application is fully allowed, they will put R. Somewhere in the corner, they will put R. That means it's a registered mark belonging to somebody. You can go to that, just like there is a register of companies, which is maintained by the registrar of companies. Similarly, the register of marks is maintained by the registrar of marks. Okay, it's an online registry. You can go and search. You can see whether similar mark is there. Similarly, the owners of these marks, like Apple, Sony, they will be watching continuously for any application for registration. Or that lawyers, they will hire a battalion of lawyers, because think about it. These are powerful trademarks. If they are infringed, there will be huge loss. Therefore, they will hire a battalion of advocates whose job would be only looking for applications for registered mark. The minute they see something resembling, immediately they will file an application. They will also be seeing the names of companies, newly incorporated names. They see anything identical or too nearly resembling their name, immediately they will make an objection with the regional director. In the case of trademark infringement, they will apply to the trademark. In the case of company, if their trademark has been infringed, they will make a complaint to the registrar. Okay. The complaint will be made to the registrar. Then the registrar will put it up to the RGN, who is his boss, the regional director. Then the regional director will take a call. And if in the opinion of central government, this name is identical with or too nearly resembles an existing trademark, an application shall be made by a registered proprietor of a trademark within 3 years of incorporation or registration or change of name. So there is a time limitation. You can't sit quiet and then suddenly come and say it is my mark. No, I already got a mark. 3 years time. You have to within 3 years, you have to object. Okay. Then the RG regional director will go through it and decide. And so then he will say, this mark is, your name is identical with or too nearly resembles the trademark of that proprietor. So in any one of these cases, so either your name is resembling the name of an existing company or too nearly resembles. That wording is very interesting. It is not exactly identical. Identical means same. No, it is too nearly resembling. Sounds similar. For example, you want to have Zara Fashions. There is already a guy called Zara Fashions, international trademark. Zara. Okay, he is internationally. Zara, ZA. Of course, you can say he is Za, I am Sa, and all that. 1 second. Madam, I'm in the class right now, Ji. Shraddha ji, I'm Srikanth here.
Yes, sir. Is that the right time?
No, actually, I'm in the class now. I'm conducting our class. Yeah. Can I talk after 8:30? Can I call you, madam? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry for that, but that was a call that I needed to take. But from now on, I will not take calls. I'm keeping my phone in silent mode. Wonderful. So we have questions. Let's go back. So we have got this concept. So basically, it's like this. You are a company. You got a name. you are seeing a new company there. Its name is too nearly resembling your name or even identical, then you can apply. Or the registrar himself can do this if he wants. But in case you are a trademark owner, then you have to be vigilant. You are the owner of a trademark. You have to be vigilant. You should watch. Then you see a guy trying to register a company with a name that is identical with or too nearly resembling the mark which is registered by you. You are a registered proprietor. Then immediately you have to file a complaint to the RD. Then RD will investigate and finally come to the conclusion opinion. The RD will form the opinion that it is like this. So in that situation, what can the RD do? So Darshan is asking, only regional director has power to rectify the name under section 16. Yes, see, the power has been delegated. It's like, see, the regional director is part of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. He is not some other authority. He is an employee of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. See, today he will be regional director. Tomorrow he will go to Delhi and become director of some department in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. You understand? See, he is an employee of the ministry. Today he's this gentleman will be ROC today. Again, somewhere else he will become assistant director, like that. So it depends on what he's doing. He's an employee. So this power has been delegated to the regional director. What if RD came to know on its own, but names are identical to the original trademark? In the case of trademark, they are insisting that the trademark owner should complain. But in the case of a name, suppose RD himself comes to cross, hey, these are two resembling names, he can take suo motu action. But as I am able to see it, RD cannot take action for trademark on his own motion. There should be an application from a registered proprietor. Think about it. Trademark is a, can I say, kind of ownership thing. And you are the owner. Who should be concerned about it? RD or owner? Owner should first take the effort to apply. Otherwise, why should we bother? How do I know? He may be your brother-in-law. You have allowed him to do it. Why should I waste my time getting into this? That is how it will be. Okay. See, somebody is entering your house. I am walking on the road. Let us say I am the policeman. I am walking on the road. I can't go and, who are you? Why are you going there? You should have a watchman for that. And if you find that some thief is entering, then you come and complain. We'll take action. I can't expect you to, go and watch. So that answers your question. See, sometimes, when the topic is given to you, understand and accept it as it is given to you. If you keep on counter questioning it, you are wasting your time. Because this topic will come as a question in the exam for what, 3 marks. That's it. What they will ask, they will, if you know the law, you are there. Why are you confusing? What will have the RD? If the RD finds it, he will simply laugh and go, that's all. Or else if he's a good fellow, he will call up that guy. Why should he do it, yeah? Why should he do it? What is his problem? Why will he do it? Hey, boss, your trademark has been violated, man. What to do now? You make an application. See, he's got better things to do, yeah. If you are not clear about what I'm saying, whichever city you are, find out which is the nearest regional director's office and go there and just see this man. He's got so much work. He just does not have this type of time to go through the trademark registry, find out. Got it? Okay. Now, the regional director has formed the opinion. Now, what he can do? He will direct the company. You can see this here. The central government may direct the company to change its name. So the regional director will send a letter directly, boss, whereas it has come to our notice that this company is there, whereas we have received a complaint, whereas it is necessary that you should change your name, do it. That's all. And the company shall change its name or new name, as the case may be, within a period of 3 months from the issue of such direction, after adopting an ordinary resolution for the purpose. So, the RD gives the company a chance. Boss, within 3 months, you quietly change your name. Yeah, I will not prevent you. Give me another name. I will approve it. If that name is okay, go ahead and change. Okay. Then once the change of name, after changing it by passing an ordinary resolution. See, normally change of name requires special resolution, alteration of name. Here, because you are violating somebody else's right, they don't want to make it tough. Even if simple majority is there, it is enough. Going back to our friend, what is that? Ritik's point, even if there are only 5 members, 3 agree, 4 or 2, the simple majority, okay. Now, I cannot get 6, what to do? So, 2 are against it also, you can. So, they say ordinary resolution is enough. And the name of notice of the change of name is to be given to the ROC together with the order of the CG. Then the ROC will change the certificate of incorporation. Again, he will issue a fresh one. And also he will see, you should also amend your memorandum and articles. The name should be, new name should be mentioned. Everything will be taken on record. Fresh certificate of incorporation will be issued. This is called rectification of name. Ritik ji, from now on, I am going to instruct you. Do not give me instructions on what I should do. Is that agreed, Ritik? This is something I do not like. I am a teacher who likes to teach the way I teach. Okay, so, and you have also asked questions, Ritik. You are also guilty of telling, but there are only 5 members. And I reacted to that. So, don't worry. Completing the syllabus is my responsibility to your satisfaction. Okay? Understood? Moving a little fast, slow, let me decide. You don't tell me. If you tell me to move fast, I will move fast. Another person will tell me to move slow, go slow. I have to slow down again. I will become like the father, the son, and the ass. Have you heard that story? The father, the son, and the ass. They were going. Okay, the father was sitting on the ass, son was going. Somebody said, father is sitting on the ass, son is walking. Poor boy. So son sat, father. Then they said, the small boy is sitting, old man is walking. Then they said, both of them sat on the. Then they said, poor ass. So these 2 fellows started carrying the ass. So if I keep listening to everybody in the audience, then it will become a mess. Your suggestions are welcome, but not in this matter. If you have a doubt on company law, ask me, I will clarify. But how to conduct the class? A man who has been teaching from 1992, more than 40,000, 50,000 students have attended my classes. Okay, physical, online, whatever you call it, I have done. Let the teacher decide. Okay, Ji? Sorry, okay, but remember always, don't dictate to the guru. Don't presume to tell the guru what to do. That bhakti is lost in this current generation. See, when I'm my guru and all, I will not tell like this at all. If suddenly my guru will decide to talk about one topic, I will simply listen to what he's talking. Nothing has happened to me because of that, sir. I cleared with All India rank, both inter and final, CA and ACS. All India 4 ranks. By being devoted to my guru and obedient to my guru, I have not lost anything. I have gained. Okay? This is a philosophy that youngsters like you may not appreciate or understand. But try to think about it from that angle also. None of us, by obeying our guru, have lost. But by disobeying the guru, we have lost a lot. That I have seen a lot of people who have disobeyed the guru, commanded the guru, told the guru what he has to do, they have lost. So let it be a first time and the last time. Please don't waste your time. I will teach you. I am here to teach you company law. If necessary, I'll take another 15-20 minutes extra and I will cover it. What is your problem? Don't worry. Okay. Chalo. So, good. Tushar is late. Welcome, sir. In the material, it is 6 months. Please correct it. This is correct. I have verified it 100 times. Okay, please act as amended. Kindly, maybe having an older guy, I don't know what it is. Kindly correct it. What you are seeing on the slide is correct. Okay, don't embarrass me further. If you have doubt, best place to go is go to section 16 in the MCA website and see. That is the correct way to learn, because the ultimate authority on company law is the Bare Act. Go there and see. Okay. No, I am not taking it wrongly, but I want to give a suggestion to all students now listening and who are there. Srikanth does not encourage guidance given to him on to go fast, to go slow. Go slow, yes. If you feel that I'm going fast, sir, please go slow or explain again, my duty. But go fast, don't tell me. I'm not a donkey driven by you that you will make me go fast or go slow. Okay. Yeah. Yo, what is the difference between ordinary resolution and special resolution? Ayya, no more explanation. Read it from the book. I have been explaining it 100 times from the last class, even this class. I think for Jasprit ji, I again explained it. No, I will not do it. There I will obey my friend Ritik. If there is a time at the end of the session, I will try to explain. Okay. How is the order of the central government? By email, Baba. It will be sent by email to the registered email address of the company. There will be one registered email address. It will come by email. Nowadays, no physical, only email. It will come by email to you. There will be one, at the time of incorporation, you would have given a registered email ID. That will be the email ID to which all communication will come. Thank you, Jasprit. Nothing about it. Keshav Goyal, what doubts you have asked? Let me see. If articles, there should be 90. I told you now, it cannot be. Special resolution is defined in the act and it has to be. I gave an answer to you. What more answer you want? One more. Keshav Goyal. Where? Good evening, sir. Where is the Keshav Goyal? Boss, Keshav Goyal, don't do this, yeah. I'm answering your question, ma. But if you're not happy with my answer, leave it, ma. What happens if registered my company? That question will come. What happens if I registered my company under big company name and make a huge profit during 3 months given by RD? Good. Now, that is up to that company to file a civil suit against you for recovery of damages. See what happens now. You have infringed his trademark. Okay. So that is a civil case. What the registrar is doing is first changing the name so that further you cannot continue to do what you're doing. With regard to the, it's a good point. With regard to the profit earned by you, which is wrong. You have used his name and earned. He has to file a suit on you. It will go to the court and the court will decide whether you are entitled to keep it, a portion or fully you have to give to him. The court will pass the order. Based on that, you have to pass. That case will be going on. That's why I said trademark law is very complicated. It's called intellectual property rights law. It's an IPR violation. Now, he is entitled to claim damages from you, including the profits that you earned during the 3 months or whatever time. Because see, the 3 months is only given to change. Remember, he is going to complain within 3 years. So from date of incorporation till date of change. Why only 3 months? You understand what I'm saying now? Whatever you have done, it is not correct. So the section 16 prevents you from continuing to have that name. After that, you have to, that is between you and him. If that fellow is smart, he'll hire a good advocate, possibly my son, and he will file a suit against the company and the directors also for criminal fraud and claim compensation. Keshav, I have answered your question. Okay. Don't say I have not answered. I will answer all your questions. Suppose the company is offer a name for registration and after some time it's rejected because of someone. So one thing we'll do. We'll complete the next slide and then I'll take your query. See, suppose the company does not change the name within 3 months. It's possible now. After all, you are asking them to pass an order resolution. They may not do it. The company may not do it. Then what happens? First of all, there is a penalty. If you do not comply with the directions, there is a penalty. Company has to pay a fine of 1,000 rupees for every day during which the default continues. Up to 1 lakh. Officer in default, including KMP, fine which shall not be less than 5,000 rupees up to 1 lakh rupees. Now, that is not enough now. They have not changed the name. So, and they are not passing the resolution also. So, if a company is in default in complying with any direction given as aforesaid, the central government shall allot a new name to the company in such manner as may be prescribed. That's all. This is your new name, old name gone. Thereupon, the regional directory will give you opportunity. This is your name. Are you happy? You don't know reply, then that whatever RD has selected will be your name. Thereupon, the registrar shall enter the new name in the register of companies in place of the old name and issue a fresh certificate of incorporation with the new name, which the company shall use thereafter. Got it? So if you are given 3 months to change, If the company does it on its own, good. Company does not do, then penalty, and the regional director will compulsorily change your name. You don't like that name, then you can again go through the process of section 30. Voluntarily change your name to some other name, should not be resembling any company. Okay. Obviously, the company will not be allowed to change back to the earlier name. Okay. This is a very nice provision, and in my humble view, it's a good provision, because earlier in the old law, 56 law, this was not there. They said you have to change. The company may by passing, the company shall by passing an order resolution change its name. But how, if they don't do, what happens? That question was never answered. In fact, in one of my earliest seminar lectures on company law at a study circle meeting in Chennai, I raised that question. When the very famous advocate Arvind Dattar was there, and he said, hey, what Srikanth says is correct. This there is no, see, you are saying that it is compulsory, but you are giving him an option, in the sense he can or not pass the special resolution, ordinary resolution. Now they have correctly, now I will appreciate this part of the Companies Act. They have given a clarity and said, in case you don't change within 3 months, the RD will change it for you. That's a good one. So now Kushi Gupta, moving on to, we'll move to register office a little later. Sir, suppose the company is offering a name for registration, and after some time it's rejected because someone objects. After this name, company offer another name for registration. This new name is also given separate. See, I'll tell you. So company is offering a new name for registration. You are saying first time your name was resembling one company. RD told you to change. You gave one option. He said, okay, go ahead. Again, that name also is being complained. Another 3 years from the date. You please see this. 3 years of incorporation or registration or change of name of the company. So from that change, another 3 years time will begin. To answer your question, but very, very far-fetched now. Second round also, you are going to be resembling somebody. Why are you doing that? Why don't you select a name that is safe? Huh? Yeah, another 3 years will begin. Again, somebody can object, and then again you have to change. This rule of identical with or too nearly resembles the name is also applicable when a company is registered other than Indian company law. See, if you are incorporating a company outside India, you are not bound by Indian law. This is only for companies being incorporated in India. If you are incorporating a company outside India, you will have to comply with that law, whatever law there is. But I don't want to comment because I don't know the company law in various countries. But by and large, most intelligent countries, democratic countries, Canada, UK, US, Australia, they will all have similar laws or tougher laws. So you cannot do. But the Companies Act 2013 applies only to companies incorporated under that act or earlier company law. So when you are incorporating a company outside India, other than Indian company law, that you'll have to comply with that local company, whatever it says. If they are having such, they will have. If they have, you have to comply. If they don't have, enjoy. Okay. So the new certificate will be very elaborate. It will talk about the original date of incorporation, and the date of that new certificate will be change of name date, whereas the date of original incorporation will also be mentioned in that certificate. So, basically, the law, as per that wording, the age of the company should be decided based on the original date of incorporation. This is only the date of change of name. That's all. Life of the company, if you want to measure from the original date of incorporation. Okay. It won't be a new one. And again, humble request, when you're asking a question, put a question mark at the end or type an interrogatory statement. If you type a statement without a question mark, I am unable to understand whether it is a question or you are telling me. Okay. Please, when you raise a question, raise it as a, that's because this is a query pad. Suppose you are in front of me and talking, I will know whether your tone and your body language will tell me that it is an interrogatory statement. Whereas when you're typing it now, how do I know whether it's an interrogatory statement or a statement of fact that you are telling me? I will learn. That's all. Yeah, sometimes the words are very, very important. That's why, when a teacher like me is trying to teach, if you are willing to listen and learn, you will learn a lot. Then if you have some genuinely confusing doubts, I will clarify. But one request to all of you, you are all highly intelligent people. That is the problem. If you are a fool like me now, you will read the law, understand it, go to the exam, write the law and come, get marks. It is because you're intelligent only, you are asking all questions, confusing yourself and everybody else. I will not get confused. Okay. Still, some questions are good, but some questions, are far-fetched questions, which can never happen in real life. Okay. Simply because the law is there, you keep on questioning the law, you won't get anywhere with it. But understand the law. See why it is like that. See, what is the basic purpose of 16? To prevent a company from being incorporated with a name which is too nearly resembling or identical with the name of another company, or a trademark which is registered. It gives an opportunity to the trademark owner to complain within 3 years. And then the RD, if he is satisfied, he will direct the company to change the name. The company shall do so within 3 months by passing an order resolution. If they don't do that, there will be a penalty. And the regional director will select a name and will change the name of the company compulsorily. That's it. See, in 5 to 6 lines, we can summarize section 16. That's all. If you are able to do this, go to the exam and write it, you will get more than 60, 70 in law. It is only when you confuse yourself, everything, then you read the question will be very, very clear. You will confuse. you will read meanings into that question which were never intended. Or there may be one small catch there. That only you have to be careful. That you will miss. Okay, don't do that. I'm not saying you will. I'm saying please don't do that. Please be alert. Read the question well. See the small. If you know the law well, in your brain, memory is there, then, hey, this section talks about special resolution. Whereas here they are saying, so that is the catch. The answer is that will straight away get your 3 marks or 4 marks. Enjoy life. Why get confused? This is what I would like to humbly submit to you. Is it right to say without the incorporation certificate issue, the company cannot? Boss, incorporation certificate is only one thing. We are also going to see another certificate called certificate of commencement of business. Only when that certificate of commencement of business is received, company can actually start transactions. Till then, it cannot operate a bank. So for your information, we'll come to that a little later. Certificate of commencement of business. That is also important. Certificate of incorporation is the birth certificate. But in the case of company, it also has to have certificate of commencement of business. Okay. Which will be issued only when you have filed one more document and given that they will give you only with that certificate of commencement of business. You can see within 1 month, you have to file the registered office details and all. Once all that is over, certificate of commencement of business will be given. Okay. Once a company is incorporated, it is required to maintain a registered office. Yeah. Once again, just to answer Aishwarya's question, without incorporation certificate, company itself is not in existence. But to start the transactions, you need one more certificate. That's all. Okay. So at the time of incorporation of the company, it need not have a registered office. Means it need not mention a registered office. But within 30 days, it has to locate a registered office and inform the registrar of companies. The registered office of the company is a very important place. The company need not completely operate from that place. I'm being very careful. There should be something there. It cannot be a nameplate. There's something should be there. But the main corporate and administrative headquarters may be in some other city. But the registered office is the place, the address to which all legal correspondence will be sent. It's very, very important concept. This is the physical office where the corporation will receive service of legal documents from registrar or in case of a lawsuit, etc. See, today, the registrar of company does not send you any letters by post. So more than the registered office, your registered email ID becomes very important. This is for your information. Because to the registered office address, they won't send. But when it comes to lawsuit, service of legal documents, service of notices, 100% it should be served only on the company at the registered office, nowhere else. If it is served into some other office, it will be invalid. So what a lawyer will do now, quietly he will accept. He will not do anything. He will simply say, then when the case is heard, finally nearing the end arguments, he will come out and say, Your Honor, there is a lacuna. What happened? No, the original plaint was not served on our registered office. It was served on our corporate office. Why you are not taken objection at the time? No, Your Honor, it has come to our attention only now. Here is a petition, interlocutory application. That's all, end of case. The plaintiff would have struggled to come all the way. And the lawyers are also crooks, including my son, I tell you, in the sense, fellows like to extend it. You know why? Because every hearing they'll get paid. So they keep on playing this game. Till finally this fellow will stand up and say, it's a lacuna, Your Honor, it is not. Oh my God, what to do now? No, you have to start from the beginning. You have to go and file a complaint again on the registered office address. All sorts of games they'll play. So that is why service of legal documents in lawsuits, you have to be very, very careful. It should be served only at the registered office. The registered office cannot be a post office box. It must be a physical location where someone is present to receive service of legal documents during normal business hours. Please understand. You can't have, see, in Singapore or US for that matter, they can have. Even in India, many companies, foreign companies, when they come to India, they operate most of it from home and also they don't need an office. So what they do, they take my office, I hire a small space in my building to them and I put the nameplate and I have one person who is in charge for these companies. For all these companies, he will be employee and he will take notice. That's all. That is his only job, nothing else. The company will be operating possibly from some other location, factory or whatever. But as far as service of legal document, register office, my building. Why? Because it is easy for them also. It will come to me first. And then I will give them advice. Hey, you got this document. This is what you have to do like that. Many chartered accountants do this. Not only me. Many advocates, chartered accountants, company secretaries, we offer. But it is not a PO box. It is a physical location, my building, where one person will be present to receive the notice. It could be different from head office or corporate office. Please understand that. The registered office is not the head office or corporate office. Many companies from Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh, they may have their registered office in Madhya Pradesh or Gujarat. But their head office or corporate office will be in Maharashtra. That is Mumbai. Like that. Similar for Punjab and Haryana companies, they may have registered office in Ludhiana. But their main corporate office will be in Delhi. So it's quite possible. Keshav Goyal again, wonderful question. Can I register our home as registered office? And if so, then home is regarded as commercial. Exactly, you got the point. If you declare your registered office as your home, then you have to pay commercial property tax. If you are ready, you pay. Exactly, you have answered your own question. You can, who can prevent you? If you put a company notice board on outside the building, immediately the property tax wala will come and ask you, hey sir, are you renting it out to this company? Yeah, you should have. Obviously, you are the owner, the company is your tenant. So, sir, then if you are renting it out for commercial purpose, the commercial property. You have answered your own question, Kesha. You can do. There are a lot of people who do that. What is that? But the minute you use your own residence as a commercial activity, then you have to pay commercial property. Depends on whichever corporation you are coming under, panchayat, whatever the rule you have to come for commercial properties. EB also will go up. You'll have to pay commercial rate, okay, not household rate. Check out if it is worth the trouble. Good question. It's a very practical question, and I have given you a practical answer. Corporate office, regional office, the words themselves are clear. Corporate office means an office where the MD and other corporate heads are sitting. All the decisions and strategic decision making of the company will be carried on in the corporate office. It's the main office of that company. Okay. Regional offices, their office in every regional headquarters. So that's what it regional office. Okay. So I'm sure you've heard of corporate office, Baba. Don't tell me. There's something called corporate office. See, many companies will have corporate office. You go to Mumbai, so many companies, corporate office will be there. Famous buildings are there. Okay, they're all corporate offices, including Tata's building is there, corporate office. Okay. So Reliance corporate office, Mahindra corporate office. They're all corporate offices. See, you can have the corporate office can also be the registered office, but you can have a registered office somewhere and corporate office can be different. The domicile and the nationality of a company is determined by the place of its registered office. Means domicile, we already saw. To which state do you belong depends on the situation of the registered office of the company. Which is why the domicile clause in the memorandum will say the registered office of the company will be situated in the state of Maharashtra or whatever. The registered office of the company will be situated in the state of, fill in the blanks, Maharashtra, whatever. Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, whatever. So, depending on that, your domicile will determine for the purpose of which is your domicile, right? You might ask me, sir, what is the big deal in domicile, sir? It is important for determining the jurisdiction of the court. I already told you now, if you want to file a suit under the Civil Procedure Code, you have to file it either where the defendant resides or where the cause of action arises. Most cases, the invoice itself will very clearly say. Next time when you're doing auditing or next time when you're looking at a document, invoice and all, some invoices will be very clear. They'll say, all disputes arising on this invoice will be subject to the jurisdiction of Mumbai High Court. Whatever. Mumbai or Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh High Court, whatever. Thereby, once you agree to it and supply you take the goods delivery, you are then bound by that. So you can determine the jurisdiction. If the jurisdiction is not determined, then where the cause of action arises, where is the dispute arising? There. Or where the defendant resides. Meaning, suppose you are filing a suit against ABC Limited, you can file a suit only in the court having jurisdiction on the area in which the registered office of the company is situated. So that is why the registered office becomes very, very important. So if you go to the website and you find some big fancy address in Mumbai and you think that is the jurisdiction, be careful. Go to the registrar's site, MCA site, and there you go and see what is the registered office of the company. You'll be very surprised to find it is some other jurisdiction, or maybe, or may not be. You understand? So that is why registered office becomes very important. Correct. It has to determine is, don't say residency. The correct word to use is residence or residential status. The word residency is not used in this context. I think what you're intending is the place of residence where they reside. That is residence. RESIDENC, residence. Of course, don't confuse. The minute you use the word residence, your mind will go to Income Tax Act. So the alag, totally different. Don't confuse. Residential status under Income Tax Act is different. Jurisdiction under CPC and income company law is different. So a company shall within 30 days of its incorporation and at all times thereafter have a registered office capable of receiving and acknowledging all communications, etc. The company shall furnish to the registrar verification of its registered office within a period of 30 days of its incorporation in form INC 22 and in such manner as may be prescribed in Rule 25. Notice of every change of the situation of the registered office after the date of incorporation shall be given to the registrar within 30 days of the change, who shall record the same. So, within 30 days of incorporation, you should have a registered office in form INC 22. Thereafter, if you are shifting the registered office, whenever you change the registered office, within 30 days, you have to inform ROC in INC 22. Right? In those days, it was called Form 18. Now it is called INC 22. Right? Also, the name of the company should be painted or affixed along with the address of its registered office, should be at the outside of every office or place in which its business is carried on. This is a very important thing. If you are a limited company, wherever you are operating, in that name board, in that branch or regional office name board, you should also mention the name and the address of the registered office. Why? Obviously, because so that people will have no doubt about where is your registered office. We won't make that. Suppose you are having a very classy, stylish corporate office in Mumbai, and I want to file a suit against you. I come there and I see, oh, this is your address. Then I look at the notice board. There you have to put registered office of the company is situated in some small village somewhere in the Bhavra district in Madhya Pradesh. Agreed. So I have to file. If I am going to send a legal notice, I have to send it to your Bhavra office. That is the registered office. I can't serve it on your Mumbai office. Okay. So have its name engraved in legible characters on its seal, if any. See, a company, today there is no compulsion to have a seal. If you want to have a seal, you can have a seal, corporate seal. Otherwise, no need. Okay. There is no compulsion to have a corporate seal. So earlier, you used to say company is the artificial juridical person having perpetual succession and common seal. Common seal is no longer a compulsory quality. It need not be. Okay, so it has to get its name, address of its registered office and the corporate identity number, etc., printed in all business letters, bill heads, letter papers, everywhere it should be coming. Have its name printed on hundis, promissory notes, bills of exchange, and such other documents as may be prescribed. So everywhere, whenever you are dealing with the public, there clearly you should mention registered office. And especially on promissory notes and hundis, the name should be printed. The name of the company should be printed on hundis and promissory notes and bill of exchange. For your information, if a director of a company signs a hundi without the name of the company, suppose a director signs a hundi or a promissory note, I promise to pay so and so, like that. If he signs it without the seal of the company and without the name of the company on the document, or at least the seal of the company mentioning the name should be there on hundi or on promissory note, etc. If it is not there, then that director will become bound by that instrument. Personally liable. That officer or director will become personally liable. Okay, Sunita Pai is asking, new scheme or for November 23. To my knowledge, I am conducting these classes for November 23. Okay, to my knowledge. But if you still want a real clarity, please send a query to the Board of Studies and they will give you the absolute clarity on this. Okay, where a company has changed its name during the last 2 years, it shall paint or affix or print the former name also for 2 years. From the date of change in the name, for 2 years, you should print the former name also. The words one-person company shall be mentioned in brackets below the name of such company wherever. In the case of one-person company, the word one-person company should be mentioned in brackets below the name. If the registrar has reasonable cause to believe that the company is not carrying on any business or operations, he may cause a physical verification of the registered office. And if any default is found to be made in complying, he may initiate action for the removal of the name of the company from the register. See, that chapter 18 is coming later in your final syllabus. Don't bother. That chapter talks about removal of name. One of the grounds is the registrar inspects and under 12 and he finds that nobody is there in that office and it's not functioning. Then he can say this company is a bogus company and strike off. He can proceed for striking off of the name. Stamp, seal, all are one and the same. Seal, basically, we don't call it stamp. We call it seal, corporate seal. There is no stamp, only seal. Okay. Rubber stamp, but that's actually a corporate seal. That is it's embossing. See, when you use a stamp, you will be pressing that stamp on ink and then placing it on the paper. In other words, that ink will get transferred to the paper. That is called stamping. Whereas in seal, it will be embossed, meaning the paper will be pressed and whatever is the impression will be pressed onto the paper through the seal. It's called embossed. So that is called seal. So this is the basic difference between stamp and seal. Seal will do embossing. It will be like a pressing. You press. You keep the paper underneath and press. Then automatically that corporate seal, that image will be embossed. The paper will be pressed and lifted so that it will be visible. That is how it is done. Nowadays, it's not compulsory because it's a nuisance more than anything else. So they said if you don't want to have, don't have. Later on, when we come to allotment of shares, we will talk about that's the only time when corporate seal has to be affixed. There, they have given an option. If you have a corporate seal, if you don't have a corporate seal. So if you don't have corporate seal, you will simply sign. That's all. Penalty for default in complying with registrar is if you do not inform the registrar about the registrar office within 30 days and all. Penalty of 1,000 rupees up to 1 lakh. And for officer in default, 1,000 rupees, not exceeding 1 lakh. Okay. Now the word registrar, that is, from now on, we are going to talk about change in the registered office of the company. There you will find registrar. Some states have registrar combined. Maintains the register of companies and deals with 5 states together will form one region. That region will have a regional director. So now you understand the hierarchy, the register, these people. Okay. Then after inquiring all that and satisfying himself, then the RD will communicate confirmation. Please note, the regional director is not permitting you. He is not, nobody can prevent, the fundamental right enables you to move from anywhere to anywhere. You can go. But what is the RT verifying? Whether you have violated any provisions of the Companies Act or anything is pending. That's all. Once the ROCs, from where you are going, he sends a report saying this company is compliant, absolutely no problem. That's all. Then the regional director will send a letter of confirmation by RD. So from a professional point of view, what you should do is go to the ROC concerned and tell him, boss, I need to move from Pune to Mumbai, boss, urgently. I need to start billing from Mumbai. Kindly help me, sir. Please send your report. So he'll send the report. Then RD will send you a confirmation. This whole activity should be done within 30 days from the date of receipt of application by the RD. Now, suppose you have not complied with something, the ROC reports negatively. Then the RD will send a letter to you saying, we have received this report. So kindly confirm that you are complying now. That's it. Thereafter, the RD's job is over. You have to now comply, go back to him, and you have to give him confirmation of compliance. Then he will again write to the ROC, satisfy himself. Then he will. So the 30 days is only for the first time. If you are not complying correctly, then it's different. Thereafter, so you have received the confirmation by RD. Now, the law is very clear. After all, RD is the boss of the ROC. Why he cannot send a letter directly? No. Why should he? After all, you wanted to change. I have now confirmed it to you. Now you go back to the guy whom you are going to. There you go and file. That is, you have to file the copy of the confirmation with the registrar to whom you are moving. Suppose you are moving to Mumbai, you have to go to Mumbai and file so that the Mumbai ROC knows, okay, these guys are coming. So within 60 days of the date of confirmation, you have to file with the other ROC. Then that new ROC will register. Then he will write to his colleague in Pune, take all the files, all your records will move. You will come into his jurisdiction. So the ROC will register the same and certify the registration within 30 days from the date of filing. Then he will send you a registration of address. Thereafter, you will come under the jurisdiction of Mumbai ROC. This is only for 2 states, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, not other states. So the certificate referred to above, issued by the ROC, shall be conclusive evidence that all the requirements of the Act with respect to change of register office from one ROC to another ROC have been complied with. And the change shall take effect from the date of the certificate. Which means, unless you have the certificate, you cannot go to GST, you cannot change your PAN, nothing can be changed. You will be operating only from Pune. But the minute the certificate is issued, then you can change all your other details and you can start functioning. So it's a procedural activity, right? Video is buffering. We will do one thing. We will have a break. Sir, can we have a break, sir? Now the buffering is solved. So welcome back from your well-deserved break. Since you are all complaining about the video buffering problem, I thought I will use this opportunity to give a break. In the meantime, I'm informed that this has been corrected. So we should not be having any problem from now on. And Darshan also confirms that it is clear now. So since maybe you've lost out something on this part, I will quickly run through it again quickly. See, here we saw the change in registered office from within the same city, town or village, and then outside the local limits, meaning from one city, town or village to another city, town or village under the same ROC. Okay, so there the procedure we have seen, board resolution, it's all clear on the screen. Here, from one ROC to another ROC within the same state. Again, so this is what we have seen. Slightly the formality is there because you are moving out of jurisdiction. So you have to go to the RD and apply for confirmation. RD will inquire with the origin ROC. RD will inquire with the ROC at the origin where you are starting. That fellow will confirm that you are clean, no problem. Then RD will confirm. Then you will go to the destination and file there. And you will tell him, boss, I have got confirmation. Now I am with you. Then he will make all the notings and all that and he will issue a certificate. That certificate is conclusive evidence for compliance with all matters. Okay. Fairly simple. This two ROC, one ROC to another ROC will be there only in two states. Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. Now comes the final jump. One state to another state. Your registered office is situated in the state of Gujarat. Okay. In Vadodara, in Gujarat. You started off in a small way, good company. You did packaged food products and it went off well. The brand really blew and you became nationally present brand. Still, you cannot be a Vadodara company, man. You have to move. So you decided enough is enough. Let us move to Mumbai, where our corporate office is there. Let us go there. So I want to shift my registered office from the state of Gujarat to the state of Maharashtra, Mumbai. So there, what you have to do, again, you have to apply to the RD. Because, as I told you, here also you are moving from one ROC to another ROC only. Am I correct? But it's one state to another state also. So both here also the boss is RD. So you have to, Gujarat ka ROC is there, Ahmedabad mein, and Mumbai ka ROC is there. Now you are moving from Ahmedabad wala to Mumbai wala. So now what you have to do? You have to apply to RD now. Also, in addition to amendments, see, one more thing, please remember. All along, there was no amendment to the memorandum. Up to this slide, there is no amendment to the memorandum. Because you are in the same state. But the minute you are moving from one state to another state, you have to alter the situation clause in the memorandum. Amend your memorandum. So you'll say, Clause 2 of the Memorandum of Association, the existing Clause 2 of the Memorandum of Association, be substituted by the following clause. What is that clause? The registered office of the company will be situated in the state of Maharashtra. That's all. You're moving your state. Then you have to apply to the RD. Then the application will dispose by the RD. See, again, the RD will take the same precautions. He will write to Ahmedabad and ask, how about this guy? Yeah, is this company compliant? They will say, yes, sir, with my knowledge. But one more thing is there. What is that? You are moving from one state to another state. You are changing your legal jurisdiction. So there could be creditors who have lent money to you, who have supplied goods to you, debenture holders. So they may see, suddenly you are moving. They all thought that you're in Gujarat only, no problem. Now you're going to Maharashtra. And so in this case, the central government will request consent of creditors also, debenture holders, and other persons concerned, including the income tax department, the GST, government departments. Everybody will be asked. The chief secretary will be asked. Because in some cases, huge employment opportunities may be there because of this company. Public interest is involved. So the chief secretary of the state will have to give a no objection. Like that. It depends. You can always apply for waiver. Because if you are a small operation, not having much importance, they say, sir, no need for all that. They will say. But that decision will be taken by the regional director. Whether to take NOC or not. Sometimes they will ask you to prepare a list of creditors and give it. Then they might ask you to get NOC from all the creditors. Or they might say, get NOC from creditors amount owing more than so and so. Like that. Only then the RD will. Once all this is given, in case the creditor objects, no, I can't go. Then you have to discharge him, pay him off. Or provide some security so that he can, whatever it is, get the consent, then come. So finally, the RD will dispose of the application within 60 days. Or in case you need to get consent and you are asking for time, he will give time. Thereafter, the baby is in your court. If everything is pakka, documents are ready, 60 days. Otherwise, no. Then company to file. See, you might ask me, who does this job? This filing with the RD body and all. It is done by the company secretary. This is not our job. You and I, we will not do this. Why are we then learning it? Why are we learning it? After all, that fellow only is going to do all this. Because remember, what I have given here in one slide, for the company secretary syllabus, now this will become one chapter. In their secretarial practice, this is one chapter. Procedural. It will be huge. We don't have to remember all that. Because we are not going to do that. Then why are we knowing all this? I might have already mentioned it to you once, even at the cost of irritating some of you, like Ritik and all, I am telling. See, the chartered accountant is the first point of consultation on all matters, legal, commercial, financial. On all matters, whenever there's an issue, whenever there's a doubt, whenever there's some problem, the practicing CA who is the auditor or the consultant who is trusted advisor or the CFO, the CFO, you will be the first point of consultation. So minimum knowledge you should have. Triaging knowledge. We call it triaging. At least you should know who can handle it. Which expert will be able to give the correct response. Many times, to answer the question raised by Darshan, yes, unfortunately for the Institute of Company Secretaries, I am a member. As I already mentioned, I am an All India 4th rank holder in ACS Inter, All India 10th rank holder in ACS Final. I got All India Silver Medal for Corporate Secretary Practice in Chinmay. That is why this is my subject, boss. I am not teaching income tax. I am not teaching whatever you call it, costing and whatever you call it. So, though I am expert there also, I don't teach it. Okay, I don't teach it. But all I am trying to, I love this subject. I am also a company secretary. What's use? No use. My company secretary qualification is simply addition. That's all. I do nothing with it except knowledge, nothing else. Simply for fun, I did it. And suppose I had gone to employment, it would have been a great asset. Because in employment, double qualifications are very powerful. Especially CFO material. Suppose they are searching for CFO, double qualified man will be preferred over single qualified man. With the experience of, if a double qualified man with say 10 years, 15 years, 10 years experience is available, he'll be preferred over a single qualified man with more experience also. Somehow that second qualification, that too company secretary, makes a big difference for CFO position. You can check it out. So there, it makes sense to do company secretary if you want, but do it quickly before you, whatever you want. Anyway, today, forget company secretary. You've got so many international qualifications like CPA, ACE, ACCPA, all alphabet soups are there. You can do anyway. So the point is, you should know. Beauty is, company secretary himself, you have to be able to guide him and say, look here, I want this done. This is how it is. That fellow should not make, sort of take advantage of thinking you are not aware. You should be able to tell him, boss, I know. Don't worry. You do this. Go and do this. You should be able to command. That is why this knowledge is acquired by you. Okay. Company to file a certified copy of the order of the RD approving the alteration with ROC of each state. Okay. So both. Now here you have to file with both. The copy of the RD should be filed with both within 30 days from receipt. Then both the ROCs will register and the ROC of destination state will issue fresh certificate of incorporation. Destination. In this case, in my example, Maharashtra, Mumbai ka wala will give you the certificate of incorporation. Okay, 30 days. Thank you, Mr. Darshan, for saying that. Okay, good. If companies, okay, now come to Bhumika's question. Sir, if company is changing registered office from one ROC to another, or change in place of one state to another in both situations? No. For ROC to ROC, they have not prescribed consent of creditors. Kyonki, the creditors in the same state. So the company is in the same state. So jurisdictionally, legally, you are in the same state. We can catch you. But once you are leaving the state, the creditors will have a problem in filing a suit. So they may decide, no, I can't come behind you to Mumbai. You pay me and go. So that is why for state to state, creditor consent is there. ROC to ROC within same state, no. Okay. Good. Now we have seen registered office. This is for any other alteration. If you want to alter the memorandum, if you alter, then any alteration should be informed to the registrar. And the registrar shall register any alteration of the memorandum with respect to the objects of the company and certify the registration within a period of 30 days. So, name procedure is there. Situation, elaborate procedure is there. Now, object. Object you want to change. All you need to do is amend the memorandum by passing a special resolution, inform the registrar. Registrar will register and issue a certificate of registration of objects. So this is important. Otherwise, the change is not pakka. Unless you register it with the registrar, the change will not be applicable. Merely passing a special resolution is not enough. Okay. So if you merely amend your objects by passing a special resolution, it is not enough. You should also file the new fresh memorandum articles with the copy of, there is a MGT 14, some document form is there that you have to file. Along with that, once they get that, you have to follow up and get that certificate of that registration of the change in the objects memorandum. Okay. It's very important. Only then you can proceed with the new object. Okay. In fact, mainly, you know what will happen? Your memorandum may contain one object class. There might be something in it where the bank is lending money to you for a new project. That the banker may be smart. He might say, look here, I saw your memorandum. Your memorandum does not contain specifically this part. For example, if you are into energy business and all, maybe general, maybe biogas is not there. And you are now putting up a plan for generating energy through biogas. The bank will say, we will fund your project. But first you amend your memorandum, object class, to include specifically, I want biogas there. So you have to amend it by passing special resolution, then go for ROC registration, get that certificate registration, file with the bank. Only then the bank will allow you to borrow or utilize the money. So that is why this becomes very important. Why that bank is doing it? Because he is smart. Because if it is not in the object class, tomorrow you will plead ultra vires. If the company, you means, whenever I say you, I mean the company. Don't think otherwise. You means not op. It is the company. Okay, so the company will plead ultra vires, not in my object class like that. So the banks are be very careful. The banks will be very, very careful before lending. They will go through the object class and see whether it is there or not. Otherwise, they won't lend. At least if they don't do that, gone. In audit, I will screw them because, boss, you have lent it. That fellow does not have what to do. Now at least go and get it amended and get a undertaking from him, get an indemnity bond from him. Then only we will allow you like that. So, I mean, no manager of a bank will take that risk. They will see to it that it is there in the memorandum. So, special provisions for companies which have raised money from public through prospectus and have any amount unutilized out of the money so raised. Okay, suddenly Mr. Vishwanath Reddy is talking, I think, motivation. Thank you, sir. I want all of you to become All India rank holders. If whenever final rank will be even better for all of you. You will get good opportunities in corporate career. So maybe all of you should get a rank. Okay, done. Change register office from one state to another, alteration of MOUs. Yeah, definitely. Changing. See, when you are changing register office from one state to another, there is a change in the situation class. Now, I already mentioned it. Maybe that buffering time it got lost. I don't think so. It was clear. There will be an amendment to the memorandum. 100%. There will be an amendment to the memorandum situation clause, plus application priority, etc., etc. So now we come to a very interesting point, which is, in a way, the ultra vires rule is built into our law. See, here is a company which has raised money from public through prospectus. Later on, inshallah, in my next class, we will start prospectus. Public, informing the public that you are going to issuing shares or not. So that you are issuing a prospectus and public have given the money to you. Based on what? Based on the prospectus. In that prospectus, what did we say? We are going to do this, we are going to do that, we are going to settle a man in the moon and mining in moon and earn money. Whatever nonsense we told, they believed and they gave. Now, you are taken that money, but it's unutilized. Now, you are finding that there is some money unutilized. Now you are saying, instead of going to moon and all, we will change the object class. We will build a small factory here and do this. Sorry. If you want to change the object class, money is still remaining unutilized from the public, received from the public. Money received from public through prospectus remains unutilized. Then the company shall not change the objects for which they raise the money through prospectus. So whatever object you stated in the prospectus, you do. If you are not doing that, you want to change, you cannot do that unless a special resolution through postal ballot is passed by the company. Meaning, every shareholder should get an opportunity to vote. Suppose you have a physical meeting, fellow may not be able to come or proxy may not come. Therefore, postal ballot. When you come to management and administration topic, the faculty will teach you in detail about postal ballot and procedure. Don't worry. How the postal ballot should be taken. Only one thing, on a postal ballot, one share, one vote. So every shareholder will get as many votes as shares held in the company. So that postal ballot should be used. Okay. This is the protection for the investor. Now, we gave the money based on the object clause mentioned in your prospectus and memorandum at that time. You have taken money from us. Now you are changing the object and doing something else for which we didn't give money. We would not have given money. So if you want to do that, call a meeting and pass a special resolution. Got it? Now, going back to a question, I think it was raised by somebody. Ritik only said, no, only 5 members are there. I'll come back to the point. Suppose a company is having 5,000 members, right? The promoters are holding 20%. The remaining public is holding 60, and some institutions are holding another 20. Now, they have raised the money through prospectus. Now, 60% is held by public, 20% by institutions, 20% by promoter. So, such a 20% small stake, fellow is controlling a company. He has taken money from the public through prospectus. He is saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Now he says, I don't want to do that, I want to do this. Now he has to amend the object class. For that, he has to call for a postal ballot. In that special resolution, now let us say the public people are aware and their awareness is created. So 50% of the shareholders vote against. Imagine. Meaning out of, let us say, 1 lakh shares, 50,000 shares, no. Now tell me, for passing a special resolution, how many votes are needed? Always, for calculating special resolution, don't count for vote. Always begin by counting against vote. So in this case, against vote 50,000. That means I need for vote 1,50,000. Now Ritik will immediately tell me, sir, there is only 1 lakh share. That is the point. This resolution cannot be passed. You cannot do what you want to do. That is the protection given to the shareholders. Okay. Are you able to understand the beauty of this? This is company law in action. This is how the investors are protected. Chalo. But still, if the company is able to convince and they are able to get a special resolution, okay, this details of the special resolution should be published in the newspapers, one in English and one in vernacular language in the place where the registered office of the company is situated. See, this vernacular is because once upon a time, companies had very, very restricted geographical operation. those days. But today, many companies operate across India or across the world. So they are vernacular, but still, suppose you're a Tamil Nadu-based company, Chennai-based company, you should put it in English and in a language called Tamil, which we speak in this part of the world. In Tamil Nadu, we speak a language called Tamil. So that language also you have to use for publication, so that the local people who are your shareholder will know it in their language that this is happening. And they may object. So anybody may say, I am not happy. After reading the newspaper, you say. And that gentleman may say, I don't want, even if you have passed a special resolution, you be happy, man. I don't want. Let me go. So that fellow is called a dissenting shareholder. Then the dissenting shareholder shall be given an opportunity to exit by the promoters and shareholders having control in accordance with the regulations specified by SEBI. So there, who will buy it, whether the company will purchase its own shares or whatever, we decide. Okay. But whatever it is, this fellow share should be purchased by the promoters. So you wanted to change, this guy doesn't want, that's it. So dissenting shareholders get an opportunity to exit. Please remember this, very powerful, very interesting section. And I like this section a lot. Okay. Ayo, Varshaji, why are you saying 3/4? See my calculation. Against, if any. The number of votes cast in favor should be, watch my mouth, listen to me, 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. No 3/4, no 2/3, no 75%. No. Number of votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. Put it in your head, sort of. Don't let it go. See, once you know the subject so clearly and conceptually now, nobody can play games with you. The way you write the answer itself will be strong. Okay. Can a person who voted against be allowed to withdraw the money invested? Sir, your question should be worded like this. I am a man who voted for the resolution. Can I be given an opportunity to exist? That is the question. See, those who voted against, definitely they will dissenting. Yeah? They are dissenting. Okay. But suppose I'm a person who voted for, can I? I can also. So long as I'm a dissenting shareholder, I write a letter to them saying, please give my money, they have to give. Okay. This is a very, so the real question should be whether a man who agreed can also dissent. Why not? See, there I said yes. Then I now realize, no, give my money, I'm going. You can. See, the proposal is to change the objects of the company. Whatever is the amount unutilized will be used for the change to the objects. Okay. You passed a special resolution. Somehow you got it. Sufficient number of shareholders voted. So which means what? Let us say in my own example, about 10,000 shares holding shareholders. Shareholders holding 10,000 shares. They were against. Now how many votes I need? 3 times. So only 30,000. Whereas it so happens that out of the total number of votes polled, 40,000 were in favor. This 10,000 were against. So special resolution is passed or not? Yes. Special resolution is passed. But these 10,000 walas, and there are a lot of other guys who never voted now. They are all there now. Once you publish this resolution in the newspaper, they see, and then they say, no, I am not interested in continuing in this company. Means, if they want to exit, they should be permitted to exit. Not only the 10,000 who dissented, any shareholder who wants to exit can exit. So dissenting shareholder means a shareholder who does not want or who does not agree with the decision. Okay. So the dissenting shareholder is given an opportunity to exit, meaning whatever money he paid, you have to refund it back to him and buy. That's all. If against votes are 50,000, so votes in favor is only 50,000. Correct. Now you have understood. Now I have finally that number working of special resolution you have understood. Minimum 150,000. That is, if it is more than 150,000, good. Minimum 150,000. Okay. A company shall in relation to any alteration of its memorandum. See, we have seen name, situation, objects. Now we still have capital and maybe liability clause, whatever. So these 2 clauses also you might amend it. Whatever it is, you have to file that copy of the special resolution with the registrar. And the approval of the central government, if it involves change in name of company, you have to file. Where in the case of change in name of company, you have to file. So the registrar shall register any alteration of memorandum with respect to the objects of the company and certify the registration within a period of 30 days from the date of filing of the special resolution in accordance with clause A of 6 of the sub. So any amendment to the memorandum, you have to file a copy of the special resolution. In case of change of name, not rectification, change of name, you have to file the approval of the central government. Then the registrar will register and give you a certificate within 30 days. No alteration made under this section shall have effect until it has been registered in accordance with the provisions of this section. Merely passing special resolution, not enough. It should be registered by the registrar. Okay. Special resolution can be passed in a way other than postal ballot. Anyway, boss, whatever may be the mode, whether by show of hands or by ballot, physical meeting ballot, or show by postal ballot, or by electronic voting. You're going to see one more method in management and administration, e-voting. Whatever may be the method, you count the number of votes cast against, multiply by 3. Count the number of votes cast in favor. That should be equal to or more than 3 times this. That's all. Simple arithmetic. That's all. No need to get confused. I mean, you can get confused, but if you, beyond this, if you're getting confused, how? Now, see, whatever I'm now teaching now, don't forget it. Keep it somewhere in your mind. The teacher is teaching management and administration now. At that time, practical examples you can have for learning the abstract topic of management and administration. General provisions for change in memorandum. Any alteration of the memorandum in the case of a company, we already saw this now. At the time of incorporation, you cannot have a clause in the memorandum or articles which allows non-members to participate in the divisible profits. Similarly, you cannot alter the memorandum so as to give any person a right to participate otherwise than as a member. Only members will be entitled to participate in the divisible profits. At the time of original incorporation, your memorandum cannot contain such a clause. Subsequently also, you cannot amend the memorandum. Now we come to alteration of articles. Now here, alteration of articles could involve or have the effect of conversion. Because the main difference between private and public, main difference is in the articles. A private company by its articles limits, restricts, prohibits. So that clause will be there in a private company article. If you want to convert a private company into a public company, you have to remove that. If you want to make a public company into a private company, you have to include that. So either way, there should be an alteration of articles if you want to convert a private to public or public to private. So basically, alteration of articles of a company requires special resolution. Any article, if you want to touch, if you want to change, you can. So maybe in your articles, you are giving 30 days time for some document to be filed. You want to make it now 45 days. Alter the articles, special resolution, file with the registrar. That's all. Now, but if the alteration of articles includes alteration having the effect of conversion of private to public or public to private, then where a private company alters its articles in such a manner that they no longer include the restrictions and limitations, then the company from that date shall cease to be a private company. It will have all the, see, today there's no big difference. In those days, private companies enjoyed certain privileges and exemptions. Today, very few. The exemptions to a private company can be counted on both my hands. That's all. In those days, you had about 125 exemptions. Every section will not apply to public company, private company. Most sections of the 56 Act will begin every public company and a private company is subsidiary of public company. Only to that company that will apply. Private company, it won't apply at all. Or they will specifically exempt private company. But nowadays, all those exemptions are removed. Today, being a private company is only a choice. You're not going to have any lesser compliance because of private. But generally, people still prefer private over public. So if you want to become public, then you remove that clause. Then you will no longer be a private company, you will become a public company. Any alteration of having the effect of conversion of a public company into a private company shall not be valid unless it is approved by an order of the central government on an application made in such form and manner as may be prescribed. Are you able to understand the point here? When private company removes the clause, nobody is bothered. You are now going to be tough. You are going to be tough on you. So you want to get into the, all along you are playing with the kids. Now you want to get into the bigger game where the adults, please come. We have no problem. It is your choice. Come. But suppose the guy who's playing here wants to go there and enjoy the, lesser compliances, whatever they are. Then we want to know why. Because there might be many compliances as a public company which you have not done, which you should now do. Only when you do all that, we will allow you to go there. So when a public company wants to convert into a private company, it cannot simply amend its articles and include it. It has to be that the change, the alteration will not have effect unless it is approved by the central government. Again, central government here is RD. Okay, you have to make an application, right? So every alteration of you have to make an application to the RD and you have to get it up. So conversion of private to public, no need for approval. Public to private, approval by RD is needed. Got it? So you have to file the articles of every alteration of the articles, and a copy of the order of the central government approving the alteration shall be filed with the registrar with a printed copy of the altered articles within a period of 15 days. I have converted a lot of private to public. See, mostly my clients, they would have come to me when they came to me, I would have made them a private company. They would operate for about 5 to 6 years, do well. Then they will grow. When they grow, they need more capital. So initially we will manage with bank loan and all. Then they will want to go for a further expansion. They may want to go public and all. In that case, or they may want to take PE funding, that is investors who come in who are third-party investors. When that happens, that third-party investor may not want to invest in a private company. Obviously, there's a restriction on transfer of shares. So they will say, convert yourself. So at that time, I have enabled my clients to convert from private to public. No problem. But till date, I have never converted a public to private. I have not done it, but it can. There may be necessity, but I have not done it. Means when you are coming from public to private, you are actually reducing. So I have never had a client who went down. I always had clients who gone up. Sometimes they started as partnership firm, then converted into private company, then became public, then went on to become, say, 600 crore, 500 crore companies. So that growth I have seen. But this way I have never seen. Public company becoming private, I have never seen. Public company closing down, yes. But becoming private, no. Okay. I'm just giving this as a practical experiential statement. Don't see, after all, the man teaching you is not a teacher. Not in that sense. I am not a professional teacher. I am a professional who is a teacher. So, in addition to the knowledge of the subject, I bring with me experience also. Unfortunately, my 35 years of experience is coming here and sitting in front of you. So, I'm sharing that also with your permission. For some of you, if you want a mechanical teacher, teach the subject. Don't talk. Don't waste my time. Maybe I may not be a suitable man. But if you want the flavor of experience also, I may be able to help you there. In fact, I was reading a magazine called Outlook, and where, they are saying that liberal arts, the recent issue of Outlook magazine I was reading, that IIT and engineering colleges, they are including liberal arts, meaning poetry, English literature, all that stupid subjects, they are including in the syllabus. Because they feel that times to come, mere technical knowledge is not enough. Mere knowledge of subject is not enough. So companies have now realized that creativity and ability to meet the VUCA world, volatile, unpredictable and complex and ambiguous world, only those guys who are having wider spectrum of knowledge are good. Somebody who's having drill down specialization in one area, like in your case, finance, GST, like that, they find it difficult to handle the changing nature of the environment. So they say it should be a liberal arts. This is a view they are promoting. I may be wrong, but in my case, I was reading literature and poetry right from school, and I never stopped reading it. And I continue to, though it was not in any syllabus, I made it my syllabus. I read all that. So what I'm saying is, don't be narrow-mindedly studying the books only. Expand your knowledge horizon to include experiential wisdom, practical knowledge. You will not lose by it. Maybe if you're only focused on exam, you will clear the exam. Agreed. I also cleared the exam. Beyond that, what will you do? So once you get into real life out there, skills are needed. So kindly don't mistake me for telling this, just as a matter of suggestion. In fact, I am a faculty for the advanced MCS course in Chennai. In Southern region, I am a panel faculty. Across the country also, I have conducted faculty training for the MCS faculties. So advanced MCS is a very powerful course. Once you complete your intermediate, you will have to attend that before writing your final. Don't take it, don't underestimate that 15 days. Take it full flow and gain the knowledge. Because though you may not be able to pass the exam with that knowledge, once you clear the final, it will add a lot of value to your career prospects. Okay, so this is my humble view. I know some of you like Ritik may be angry with me for wasting your time, but still, it's a humble suggestion to all of you. See, today Institute is giving you 15 days training. In those days and all, who gave training? I read Dale Carnegie. I read Stephen Covey. I changed myself. I improved my personality on my own volition. Got it? Nobody helped me to do it. No classes and all were conducted by the Institute for that when I was studying. But I did it for my own benefit. I read the books. I implemented it in my life. I changed the way I spoke. I improved my public speaking skills on my own without help from anything. But today Institute is giving that opportunity to you. It's a fantastic opportunity and you should not miss it or waste it. Anyway, that will come little later when you clear your intermediate. I'm now preparing you mentally for that. Chalo. So, every alteration made in the memorandum and articles of a company shall note it in every copy of the memorandum and articles as the case may be. If a company makes any default in complying with the stated provisions, the company and every officer shall be liable to a penalty. So whatever amendment you have made, it should be incorporated in the memorandum or articles. Means it should be changed, reprinted, etc. So thank you, Jasprit ji, Darshan and all for agreeing that experience and all. Wherever possible to do it. Going on. So members are entitled to copies of memorandum. Meaning, the signatory to the memorandum would have signed it. Now, they will have. But every new guy who becomes a member, who applies in writing and whose name is entered in the register of members or updated in the records of a depository will be entitled to memorandum. If he asks him, if the company is requested by the member, it shall send the copy to him within 7 days on payment of fees. Memorandum, articles, every agreement with the managerial personnel, resolution, anything, you have to, if he asks, you have to send. Please, you cannot tell him, no, we have uploaded it in MCA website, now go there and see. No. If your member is asking, you have to give it. It is his right as a member to take it from you. In case of default, the company and every officer who is in default, including our friend KMP, company secretary, everybody, who is in default shall be liable for each default to a penalty of 1,000 rupees for each day up to 1 lakh. Now we come to commencement of business. It was recently introduced in the Act by the Amendment Ordinance of 19. Okay, it's an interesting concept. Before we come to it, let us see any questions that need to be answered. If public company has not registered with some stock exchange, then in that case, how the company will route itself? Jeevan ji, when we come to prospectus, we'll talk about it in detail. Listing is not compulsory. No, public company can have its without listing also. Listing is not compulsory. First of all, listing is not compulsory. Answer, I have answered one question. Second question. That's all. With that, how the company will route its investments. What routing? Boss, when you come to prospectus, I will teach you. There is one more route. That is called private placement. So up to 200 people, you can take shares, money, public company at a time, and you can increase. That way you can keep increasing your share capital. But beyond 200, when we come there, you will see. So even without listing, you can do. Listing is not compulsory. Got it? So how to route the investments and all, that English I'm unable to understand. But how they will raise funds, if you are asking, they can. Without going to public, you can. So, boss, there are so many companies which are public, unlisted. They are doing extremely well. I have got clients, 600 crore turnover. He's not listed. Why? Because he has got funding from bank. See, he puts his own money, ma. Pretty well-off guy, rich guy. He puts his own money, borrows from the bank, repays the loan within 7 years. Huge money he makes now. But he's using the company as a vehicle. That's all. Not every company like Byju's has to go public and beg. There are people who are rich who put their own money and run companies also. They borrow from the bank. They run the company well. They make money. They repay the loan. They become rich. I mean, this is how, in a capitalistic country, you become rich. This is how you become rich. Okay, nothing wrong in being rich and nothing wrong in becoming rich or wanting to become rich, provided you do it in a honorable, ethical, legal, compliant way. That's all. You obey the law, do a good business, earn profit with your own money. There are people like that. In case you don't have your own money, put 20%. Bank will lend money to you. Then take it like that. Of course, there's a slight skewing there. Only no bank will lend money to you without collateral. That is where the catch is. Anyway, or no, then you have to go the Dhirubhai route, where Dhirubhai Ambani started off initially, then he went public, then his shareholders started showering money on him. There again, you have to run a profitable company. You cannot run a loss-making company and expect public to support you. So you have to share. Suppose you are making, once you go public, if you are making money, wealth, you have to share that wealth with the public also. You can't, if you cheat the investors, once you can do. Second time when you come to the market, they will shun you. They won't come near your company. That is the difference. So I hope I answered your question in a very practical way. So I don't know. Suddenly I mentioned Byju's because yesterday I saw about it in the news that Byju is having only 21% in his own company. That is when I was thinking. I don't know. Whoever invested in Byju, that is their headache here. I have not invested. I will not invest. My opinion, not to be taken as investment advice, but I will not invest. Okay. I would never have invested. Similarly, I never invested in Yes Bank. From day one, I never invested. People are keeping asking, Srikanth, you are an investor. Why you are not investing in Yes Bank? I will not. So, because I studied the balance sheet, done the balance sheet, and I know the management, useless people. I will not invest. Period. Okay, good. Moving on. Commencement of business. Very, very important concept. A company incorporated after the commencement of the company's amendment ordinance 2019 and having a share capital shall not commence any business or exercise any borrowing powers. See, the banks have sort of interpreted it like if you open a current account with a bank, you cannot operate even the current account unless you give the certificate of commencement of business. Your own money, you cannot issue checks unless you produce. So you have a certificate of incorporation, you'll have a PAN number, you'll have a lease agreement. Based on that, you will open a bank account. Then the banker will you will deposit 50 lakhs. Then the banker will say nothing can be done. Get me commencement of business. For that, you have to file registered office within 30 days. And then you have to go to the registrar. And you should file a declaration within a period of 180 days of the date of incorporation with the registrar that every subscriber to the memorandum has paid the value of the shares agreed to be taken by him on the date of making of such declaration. Which is why whenever somebody comes to me for incorporation, they want to subscribe now. They will say, sir, I will put 50 lakhs, 1 crore. But then, hey, don't put all that because this money you have to actually deposit in the bank. Are you ready? No. What we will do, we will put 5 lakhs. Whatever, 50,000. That money you have to deposit. And you have to give a proof. The bank account true copy should be uploaded, showing the balance in the bank, that every subscriber has paid it, that the money which they have promised to pay in the memorandum has been paid. Also, the registered office should be given, that form should be filed. Once you file these two, the ROC will issue a certificate of commencement of business. Only then you can start borrowing money and exercising borrowing powers. All financial things can happen only then. This is called commencement of business. You got it? I think I mentioned it to you when somebody asked a question about, is it enough? Certificate of incorporation alone is not enough. You also need to get commencement of business. Only then you can proceed. This is common for both private and public. Once upon a time, in 1956 Act, a private company could commence business without straight away on incorporation. Public company only had commencement of business alone. But now everybody has to have comply with these two and get commencement of business. See, in fact, this Aisha ji is asking a question. It is very interesting. See, the shareholders holding EGM is a subject you will read in management and administration. When the members themselves call, hold, and conduct, when the management is not, the directors are not giving proper disclosure, they can do it. But with all that, finally, what happens here? If there is money in the company, only he can pay you. If he has lost all the money, what can he do? Or if he has some money, he has to use it for further expansion, what he can do? So, I don't know what they are going to do. I saw that news in the newspaper about him, Byju's and all that stuff. I don't see the model. Yes. Most of these startup companies, their models are, the revenue models are very, very vague. I prefer a simple model like Reliance or, Warren Buffett told this. Now, if I cannot understand the business, I will not invest in that company. Straight away. Warren Buffett's concept was, of course, because of that, he himself regretted that he did not invest in Microsoft. Because at that time, he didn't understand computer business. But Bill Gates was not in computer business. He was in consumer sales business. He was selling a product to the consumer called PC, personal computer, and a powerful operating system that has taken a grapple hold on every device that you can ever use, including the device that I am now using. Till, of course, Android came and Google came. Okay, but still the battle is going on. I don't know when it's going to end. But once you don't understand the business, don't go there. Makes a lot of sense. And this coaching business, I don't understand how it works. Why? So I never went. Coaching, I have been in coaching institutes. I've seen it's a small business. How much you can scale it up, how much you can make it into a big business. The limit is there. However much. Okay. So in case you do not get the commencement of business, okay, within that time, and you continue to operate or do something, penalty of 50,000 rupees. And every officer in default, 1,000 up to 1 lakh. Wow. Where no declaration has been filed with the registrar within a period of 180 days, then the registrar has reasonable cause to believe that the company is not carrying on business without prejudice. That is, in addition to. Without prejudice means in addition to the penal provisions we saw. He can also remove the name of the company from the register, because he will simply say, look here, we incorporated you, we gave you 180 days, you are not given the declaration, you have not put the money that you promised, you have not got a registered office, why I should allow you to exist? So the registrar will go ahead for removal of the name from the register of companies. Of course, there is a separate procedure for that, which you saw in chapter 18 May. You can again come and fall at his feet, pay the penalty, file the details, and then he may issue certificate of commencement of. But initially, he can initiate action for the removal of the name of the company from the register of companies. Okay. A company of any class may convert itself as company of other class by altering its memorandum. For example, private to public, public to private, OPC to private, private to OPC, public to OPC. No, I mean, private only can become OPC. Public cannot become OPC. OPC section 8, no. Section 8 OPC, no. So be clear who can become what. But whatever it is which is permitted, if you want to convert, you have to amend your memorandum and articles. Where the conversion is required to be done under this section, the registrar shall, on an application by the company, after satisfying himself that the provisions of this chapter have been complied with, close the former registration of the company and issue a certificate of incorporation in the same manner as its first registration. The registration of a company under this section shall not affect any debts, liabilities, obligation or contracts entered into or incurred by or on behalf of the company before conversion, and that such debts, liabilities, etc. may be enforced as if such registration had not been done. Simple. Private company converts to public. If you are a creditor of the private company, you will automatically become creditor of the public company. No need for worrying. If you have they had any obligation to you, for example, you are an employee of the private company, they have a gratuity obligation. That will continue to the public company also. So by converting to private or public, they cannot escape their debts, liabilities, obligations, and contracts. For example, the contract may be entered into with the name private company. No, you don't have to amend the contract. Or the public company. No need to amend it or change it. The change in the entity, the change in the nature, conversion will not affect the debts, liabilities, obligations, or contracts. Got it? See, there is a prohibition on cross holdings. That is, no company shall, either by itself or through its nominees, hold any shares in its holding company. Subsidiary cannot hold shares in its holding company. There is a prohibition on cross holding. Hey, obviously holding will hold in subsidiary, Baba. Hey, this is all too much. Holding only if holding company is holding, it will become subsidiary. Now, subsidiary cannot hold in holding company. That is what cross holding. Okay. So, holding company will be having shares in subsidiary, no doubt. But subsidiary cannot hold in holding company. Okay. No holding company shall allot or transfer its shares to any of its subsidiary companies, and any such allotment or transfer of shares of a company to its subsidiary company shall be void. Obviously, there are exceptions. Please understand, every rule has an exception. This rule has two major exceptions. One, the subsidiary is holding the shares as a legal representative of a deceased member of the holding company or a trustee. How this will happen, don't ask me, I have no example. But it is an exception. The subsidiary is not holding it in its own name. It is not a beneficial owner. It is merely a representative owner. It is a legal representative of a deceased member or a trustee. Got it? In those cases, allowed. Or, this is the second is more important. In the examination, the second only they will question you. Where the subsidiary company is a shareholder, even before it became a subsidiary of the holding company. See, H Limited became the holding company today, that is 6th of July. Now, the subsidiary has been a subsidiary shareholder in the holding company already 5 years. So, 5 years ago, they bought the share in the holding company. Now that subsidiary has become a subsidiary now. So, the share which they were holding before they became a subsidiary can be continued. But after becoming subsidiary, they cannot buy. Whatever they are already holding, they can continue to hold. Are you able to understand that point? They cannot continue after they become subsidiary if you buy. No. Before it becomes subsidiary, if you have purchased, that will be allowed. This is called cross-holding. The reference in this section to shares of a holding company, which is a company limited by guarantee, would refer to not shares but interest. So, where there are shares, you will hold shares. But where there are no share capital, guarantee, then interest will be there. No? That will be taken as a reference to shares. So we have now moved on to the fag end of this topic. They have defined some words like document. Document includes summons, notice, requisition, order, declaration, etc. Your definition. it should, see, the point is document may be maintained on paper or in electronic form. So an email is a document. If it is in electronic form, it is a document. Okay. Documents, later on when you come to General Clauses Act, we will see further definitions. And the interpretation of, again, we'll talk about, in interpretation also, we will see document. There I will, inshallah, I'll be covering it. I'll give you more information about definition of document. Here, what you need to understand, crux is, it may be on paper or in electronic form. Even in electronic form, it is a document. Service of documents. We already saw that all documents should be served on the registered office of the company. How it can be served? By registered post or speed post or courier service or leaving it at its, there is, you go in person and give it to them. Or means of such electronic or other mode. So you can send it by post or even email is okay. But you have to send it to the registered email ID, which is there in the registrar's website, MCA website. However, where securities are held with a depository, the records of a beneficial ownership may be served by such depository on the company by means of electronic or other mode. Usually what the depositories do, no, they upload it into the server of the company. Every day, each company and the registrar of transfer of shares, they will be having a server. So there will be a direct least line link with the depository. So every day there will be an uploading of the beneficial ownership details. And the software of the company or the registrar of transfer will take it. More about this interesting topic we'll talk when we come to transfer of shares and allotment of securities. At that time, I'll tell you more about what a depository will do. But other than depository, if you want to serve a notice on the company or you have to serve it on the registered office officially, or if you want to serve it on any officer, you should send it to the registered office by registered post, speed post, courier, or you can go personally and leave it. Lastly, you can also send it by email to the registered email address. Serving of document to registrar or member, save as otherwise provided in this act or the rules made thereunder, with the for filing of documents with the registrar, then a document may be served on registrar or on any member. This is about you and I serving on the company. This is about the company serving on the registrar or on the registrar or on member. Again, it can be done by post, registered post, speed post, courier. Means courier is again defined. A person or agency which delivers the document and provides proof of its delivery. Okay. Or by delivering at his office or address, or by such electronic or other mode. See, for listed companies, once you apply for shares in a listed company, in the application form, you would have given small print will be there. I agreed to service of notices by electronic mode by sending an email to my registered email ID with the depository. So once you have a depository, you have got a DP account, that depository will have an email ID for you. That email ID will be the email ID to be used. So once you open a DP account, be very careful. Whatever email ID you have given there, don't change it. Or if you're changing it, please inform the depository and change it in that depository record. Very, very important. Otherwise, all notices will be going to that ID and you won't even know about it. Including dividend, bonus, everything will go there. I've known cases where senior old people, they will give some idea and all, they will not even see. Then bonus will accumulate. Man would not know. Suddenly, 7 years dividend you won't be receiving. Then you will be seeing it in declaration of dividend. It will be transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. So you have to be very careful. Email address should be updated every time. However, a member may request for delivery of document through a particular mode. For example, if I am entitled to send it by registered post, but if you are asking, or speed post, but if you are asking for something special, then you have to pay the fees for that. See, Nidhi company, what they can do, instead of sending by post, they can serve it only on members who hold shares of more than rupees 1,000 in face value or more than 1% of the total paid up capital. The other shareholders, it will be enough if you put it up in a public notice in the newspaper. Okay. Also, you put it up in the notice board of the Nidhi. That's all. That is as good as served on the members. Like that. Why? Because Nidhi company is basically a finance company which is encouraging small savings. In a small community, like a small area or a small city where everybody knows everybody, small savings are invested in this Nidhi company by way of deposits. That is lent to the people, businessmen in that same city. And the Nidhi company will make a small difference between the two. And Nidhi will deal only with members. Means if you want to borrow from the Nidhi, you have to be a member. If you want to give a deposit in the Nidhi, you have to be a member. So that's why Nidhis are very small thing. So it is enough if they put it up in the notice board of the Nidhi. Authentication of document, meaning how a document will be signed. Company is an artificial person. It has no hand. How it will sign? It will be signed by the key managerial person. Obviously, the director or officer, company secretary and all will sign on behalf of the company. Okay. But those people should be authorized by the board. So suppose an agreement is to be entered into, MD will sign. But for that signature, there should be an authorization by the board. The board should say. Similarly, you can give the power to sign, delegate that power through a board resolution. For example, you can say, all checks will be signed by the CFO, authorizing by the board. So thereafter, by that board resolution, CFO will sign all checks. Something like that. Or CFO and MD will sign all checks. Whatever you want to do, you do through a board resolution. Bill of exchange, hundi, all this will be, what is bill of exchange, hundi, promissory note? In detail, we will tell you when you come to Negotiable Instruments Act. Right now, understand that they are financial documents. So, like a check. Okay, when you issue a check, you are directing a bank to make payment, like that. Some financial instructions are there in those documents. Such cases, it should be accepted, drawn or endorsed on behalf of the company by an officer or any person acting under its authority. Deed signed by an attorney on behalf of the company and under his seal shall bind the company. Attorney here does not mean lawyer. It means, see, there would be a board meeting. At the board meeting, the company will appoint somebody as the power of attorney. That resolution of the board will be authenticated by two members, two directors. That resolution will be enough for the power of attorney to sign the sale deed or mortgage deed. So deed. Okay. That's all. So if that attorney is signing under his signs, that's all. Matter over. Now, execution of bill of exchange. If company is having common seal, yes, then that bill of exchange should be in writing and the attorney will be authorized by the board resolution and the common seal will be affixed. See, when you are executing a bill of exchange as an attorney, if the company has a common seal, then that common seal should be affixed on the document, whether it's in India or outside India. But in case the company does not have a common seal, then there should be an authorization. So that authorization should be given to the person signing the bill of exchange. That's all. Right? So with this, we have completed this topic. What I wanted to do today was take up some question and answers also. Don't worry. In our next class, when I'm prospectus class, I will stop a little early for the first class. And all the questions and assignments I have given for preliminary and incorporation, I will take it up on 8th, inshallah. Let us see if any questions are there quickly. So document, see there, remember this definition may not be asked. In your exam, they would have asked you document as defined in General Classes Act. So when you come to General Classes Act, there is a definition of document. So just check up. Document may not be this definition. It could be definition under the General Classes Act. Be careful. Document is also defined under the General Classes Act. which hopefully when I'm teaching or somebody is teaching, they will tell you. Holding company is in loss as to lose company. But if subsidiary company has well earned profit, then if holding company sells or acquisition by other companies, then see, holding company, on the asset side of the holding company, you will have investments. One of the investments shown is shares in the subsidiary company. Those shares will take their value. Think like an accountant. Think like a future chartered accountant. Balance sheet. In the balance sheet of the holding company, they are making loss, useless, negative, reserves are gone, everything. But there is a subsidiary ka share now. They have invested it in one level at one price now. Today, the subsidiary you are saying is doing well. So the valuation would have gone up now. Now that valuation is there in this company. So any company acquiring this holding company will also acquire that share now. So automatically it will become holding company of that subsidiary. That's all. You understand? That's all. It's a more an accounting question than a law question. Okay. So that's all. Once you acquire it, you will acquire the shares also now. Once those shares get into the balance sheet of the acquiring company, automatically the acquiring company will become the holding company of the subsidiary. That is how I can answer this question. Okay. The subsidiary company ka status will continue, but the holding company will be new now. That's all. What to do? Right? That is how it happens. All conglomerates are there. That's how it happens. Sometimes, I may target a holding company which is loss making, mainly because this fellow is having shares in a subsidiary which is profitable. The holding company is deriving all its value only from the subsidiary ka share. So that is how the valuation itself will go. So you have asked a very nice question, but to answer that question, I have to bring all my expertise and answer you. Okay. See how easily you are asking a question, but how much I have to think before I can give an answer for that. It is not a legal question. It is a financial question. Legally, nothing will happen here. Later on, when you come to final, you will see acquisition. Okay. Takeover bid and all. So we'll acquire that. Or in case I'm only acquiring shares in the holding company, right? Then automatically I'll become the holding of that holding. By definition, subsidiary of that company will become my subsidiary. That's all. However you go, that is how it will happen. Conversion of company, the debts of the company will remain same. Correct. Whatever you do convert, the debts will be the same. The creditor will have the same rights against the new entity which he had against the old entity. Thank you. And the debts of the company will say, you're absolutely correct. There's no correction in that. Okay. Thank you for a wonderful session as usual. Great participation and patient listening. Thank you for all the support. Inshallah, hoping and looking forward to interacting with you on the 8th of July 2023. Bye. See you at that time. Bye. Class.